Hey, welcome to a fresh morning here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So clear, full of life this morning. Of course, yeah, Samba Fee, with the best in football analysis over here. Of course, if you remember, you did come on, because there are lots of updates since last night. Yes, yeah, they brought they didn't come on. Like we've told you, for us, so far something new drops, we have to be here. So far something else drops, it doesn't matter the time, we have to be here. Near the brown, near the updating, near the Amawa, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, of course. Hey, new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. In the notification turn, please make sure that you do choose all, just so anytime that there is any content, you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And of course, away from that, if you are an investor, then it's a big night for you, a big day for you, because the codes of the today's games are ready. The AFCON women in Africa is ready, and a host of other games, including the Champions League, Europa League qualifications. No, yeah, already. You know that's we constantly win over here. Almost every other day we are winning. So if you didn't win last night, then today there's a big chance for you to come and get some wins over here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Over there. It's an important one for us. Let's have the conversation. Let's have the conversation. First off, the story around how Barcelona are trying to manage and deal with the issues of Mark-Andre Ter Stegen is interesting. But away from that, I will talk to you also about the fact of how Chelsea's market value have risen since the Club World Cup. One picture, how just one picture have risen Chelsea's market value in the US of it. Again, we'll talk about the next stage of Todd Bowley and Baghdad Iqbali's project for Chelsea Football Club and where they want to take the club to. Of course, the kind of player that Chelsea want to sign, where they've got into with these players, and Chelsea look like they will sign a certain player if, and that's part of the conversation over here. Madrid's Vinicius Jr. contract, Barcelona's issue of Ter Stegen and Lamine Yamal's number 10. Talk about every club, Man United and Brian Mbeumo will be here for you over your Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But like we do, first of all, let me go to Yesumo. Yesumo spare parts dealership shop. Let me go to Yesumo, my bro, and say a very, very good morning to Yesumo. And please see, Yesimo is the best person. He's the most solid person you deal with in terms of car spare parts. He's the best person that you deal with. Now, I've dealt with Yosimo, and that's the reason why I'm seated here today and I'm talking about. If you need car spare parts, please go to Yesimo. Please do what to go to Yesimo because he's your guy. Go to Yesimo at Abose Okain Post Office. Abose Okain Post Office. That's where Yesimo is. Or if you want any kind of spare parts, make sure that you go to Yesumo or call him on 059 313 8221. 059 313 8221. Any car, Lexus, Acura, Highlander, Toyota. Every other brand of car. Yesumo has every spare part that you want, your ambience lights, your camera, everything. Go to Yesumo. Of course, if you want jerseys too, then you go to my man, Diego Jerseys. He's at Atonsu here in Kumasi. He's at the High School Junction. Call him on 054 054 Call Diego Jesus. Yesumo can also deliver to you wherever you are in Ghana. Now let's have today's conversation quickly, quickly, so that we go straight into it. Actually, the Saudis contract offer that they are giving to Vinicius Jr. again is one of the most outrageous contracts anybody will see. And how did they get here? The Saudis believe that Vini is probably falling down the pecking order to Real Madrid. See, whether you like it or not, in terms of balance in that Madrid team, the availability of Vini, Mbappe, Rodrigo Goes unbalances the team. In these three, there isn't a natural center forward who wants to stay centrally and then do the hold up play, do the link up play, and then get players to run off them. There is no natural center forward. Two, in these three, there isn't a player who is a natural right winger. natural right winger in this three. There isn't none over there. In fact, all three of them favor playing on the left hand channel. Mbappe wants to play on the left hand channel like cut onto his right foot. Vini wants to play on the left hand channel like cut onto his right foot. Rodrigo wants to play on the left hand channel and cut onto his right foot because all of these three guys are right footed. And seriously, it's affecting Real Madrid. Of course, when you talk about the tactical balance of the team, it is affecting Real Madrid. But somebody also saying Madrid have won the Champions League with two of them. So why is it going to affect them now? Of course, it's going to affect them now because there is an extra person. And then, of course, the egos of these players come in and they obviously can affect the club. And as it stands now, Vini Jr.'s entourage had been pushing for a contract extension, certain sums of money for his contract extension. The contract hasn't been extended. Now, to the extent that the Saudi people have contacted Vinicius Jr., they've contacted his entourage, they've contacted the people who do his representation work, and they've said that, Charlie, we want you to come in and play for us in Saudi Arabia. Come in now because you've done everything that you're supposed to do in Europe. You've won the Spanish La Liga, you've won the Copa del Rey, you've won the Club World Cup, you've won the Champions League, you've won everything. So come to Saudi Arabia, come and play football. And the offer that they are giving to Vini Jr. is that they'll buy him from Real Madrid for 350 million euros. Yeah, 350 million euros. That is how much they will buy Vini Jr. from Real Madrid. 350 million euros. When they buy for 350 million euros, they'll give him a 5-year contract. In that 5-year contract, every year he will make a revenue of 200,000. And in 5 years, that becomes 1 billion. Yeah, 1 billion in 5 years. That is how much these guys wants to give Vinicius Jr. When they give him the contract in 5 years. Talking about bonuses and everything. When it comes to the yearly amounts, they'll give him 2 million actually, 2 million yearly. 2 million. That's what they want to give him yearly. 2 million. 2 million. That's what they want to give Vinicius Jr. yearly. And then in 5 years, it becomes what do you call it? It becomes 1 billion. So even the 2 million, no, if you want to do a calculation and then break it down by 12, we are talking about, Charlie, that's a huge amount of money that Vinicius Jr. is going to have. And there's no need to even do the calculation because your head is literally going to spin. So, of course, Madrid are seeing if they can go in there and have conversations and see if they can, sell Vinicius Jr. I think that Madrid will not want to sell Vinicius Jr. right now. But if the opportunity comes, definitely, why not? Madrid are still looking for a central midfielder that can play as a deep line playmaker. There's some Madrid fans who believe that Eduardo Camavinga can play. There's some Madrid fans that believe that Aurelien Tchouameni can play in that position as well. Something that's a little bit sketchy, but then they don't have an expert in that regard. Madrid don't have a proper expert, somebody that stands in there and says, I can play in this position naturally for you. Madrid have still not gotten that, and that is something that they are looking for as it stands now at FC Real Madrid. Barcelona have said in the past few days that Marc-Andre ter Stegen hasn't trained with a group, and it's true. Marc-Andre ter Stegen for a very long time now has been training inside with the players that with doing a lot of gym work. But it's also true that Barca and they've not registered a branch for Juan Garcia. I keep on asking myself, is this probably the reason why Nico Williams decided to stay at Athletic Club de Bilbao? Because Barca have not registered Juan Garcia. They had to register Juan Garcia. They've not registered him. Now Juan Garcia is still there. Officially, he can't play for Barcelona today. The La Liga starts tomorrow. My brother, Dr. Jima, and they like to say that, oh, Charlie, you're registered. We've told you several times we're going to register him. It's not a big deal. We'll register Juan Garcia. So fine, no problem. Barca will register him. But one of the plans that Barcelona are using to make sure that they can register Juan Garcia is to allow Marc-Andre ter Stegen to go and do a back injury that has been niggling for a while now. Now, when Marc-Andre ter Stegen goes away to go and do the back injury, what it means is that Marc will go and do the back injury. He's going to be out for a couple of months, maybe 5-6 months. And last season, they did same with Andreas Christensen. They did same with Ronald Araujo. So when these players are not playing consistently, they take them off the books together with their salary. Then they pay them off the books. Then once they pay them off the books, they can replace Marc-Andre ter Stegen with Juan Garcia to come to the team to come and do the job, and then they can pay him and register him or whatever. So I mean, Barca's new plan to register Juan Garcia, no, it's out, and Barca for the last 2 days have been trying to whether they could have played the One Gapa trophy at the camp now, but of course they've not gotten permission from the city authorities of Barcelona. They told them that the stadium is not done, and once the stadium is not done, they will not allow them to go there and go and play a game. That has a likelihood of causing a disaster because the stadium is not done. Then you don't have to go there and play the game. And Barca, although initially did a video to show that they are finished with the Camp Nou and they can play the one game past and they can play the one game pack cup over there with a certain number of capacity. Because why is that Barca are very much interested in playing the game at the Camp Nou? I mean, mind you, at the Mojique, one of the things that happens over there is that they literally rent that stadium. It's not for them. It's for the Barcelona City Authority. And they played Barcelona Olympics there, I mean, a couple of years ago, I think 1999 or so. So it's literally not for FC Club, Football Club de Barcelona. So one of the things Barcelona do is that they go there, they rent the stadium, they play their football games over there. And that obviously affects their finances. One of the plans Barca wants to use to get into 1:1 is to reduce external expenditure. So expenditure that is not really important and they can have solutions to, they want to reduce it. And one of the things that they were doing was to make sure they could play even the One Gampa trophy at the football club, the Camp Nou at Camp Nou. Of course, the city authority say that they were not going to allow them. So Barca have taken down the video where they were saying that the Camp Nou was down. And then, of course, as it stands now, they will explain to their fans why that game cannot go on over there. Barca really making sure that they can go on and then get their games to be played at a place where they think, they really, really do think that they have gotten there, they are good enough, their stadium is okay, so that all of the money that can come to their pocket. Charlie, businesses when they take business decisions like this, then I make it, then I excite rough because everybody's thinking about the money that's going to come into their pocket, and that's the most important thing, and that's exactly what Football Club Barcelona is trying to do with respect to the One Gampa trophy. Now, see that picture of Chelsea players raising the Club World Cup with Donald J. Trump will probably prove to be the most important picture of Chelsea's marketing history in recent history, actually. Now, you know, when the players are raising the Club World Cup, Donald Trump, per protocol, should have left. The FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, told Donald Trump that, Charlie, we have to go. I mean, it's the time for the players. We need to allow them. In fact, there's a picture where Enzo Maresca, who is the coach of the club, is behind the players. And I mean, he's just quietly taking it all in and allowing his players to enjoy their time. So Donald Trump is told that he has to go. He decides not to go. He said, "Oh, he knows. He stay with them. He wants to." He said he can raise it. So you can see that Cole Palmer, Robert Sanchez, and the likes are asking, "Charlie, won't you go?" He said, "No, no, no. Let this be here." I mean, this is the American president, and I've explained the last time that it's probably a dream come true for Todd Bowley and Baghdad Dibali and Jose Feliciano to be able to buy an English club that dominates the world, and then they win that trophy in your home nation in America, with America's president standing and then helping them raise that trophy. That literally is the best thing that you can see as an owner. Now, that picture, one thing that DAZN are doing, and I said the last time, I want to tweet that DAZN probably are going to be the biggest winners of the Club World Cup because DAZN before were known for boxing. They were known for women's football. They were not known for men's football in the US of A. If anybody's watching me from the US of A, they can attest to this fact. They were not known for boxing. They were not known for football like that. So now it looks as if DAZN will be known for the kind of football, the men's football that we see now. And since that time, almost every day, DAZN makes a post about Chelsea. Almost every day. And I'm being told that across US media, US television, because Donald J. Trump was in, because in America, football is not the most popular sport. Other sports are popular. Basketball, American football, all of these things are more popular than what they call soccer over there. Now, because Donald Trump was right there in the picture across every media organization that talks about sports, Donald Trump, that picture is being used. And it is increasing Chelsea's reach, projecting Chelsea's image in America, and it's giving them a lot of leverage. Now, It is up to Chelsea's commercial department to leverage on that, do a lot of programs in the US of A, bring people on board, get them together, and then build a media franchise that's, over there that Chelsea can leverage on and get the most money from there. And that's why I think that marketing wise, yes, the Qatar Airways, the Riyadh Airs, these guys can bring in a lot of money. But if you don't take care, an American company will pop up with crazy money and will also want to enter the European market. I told you the big news is that today people will understand why Chelsea Forum use that performance-based wage structure. So for a long time now, anytime we are Chelsea Forum, say, oh, Omoko player be home, no be say, oh, player near Accra, the player is too young, they have nothing to lose. Why would Chelsea go and then be with a player of this caliber? Near Chichinya can say, oh, Chelsea Forum say they have a performance-based wage structure. Now, what does a performance-based wage structure mean? What it meant was that they buy the players, they don't give you the highest wage, but then they give you a minimal wage. As much as your performance, as much as you are playing well, as much as you are developing a team, in the Champions League, winning Club World Cup, then they increase your salary for you. Then they give you bonuses in addition to it. And I think that some of these things is see in a lot of the corporate settings, especially in corporate settings that I have worked in. Almost every time it's about performance-based, the performance-based wage structure, the performance-based wage structure, and only a very important. And then after said Todd Bowley couldn't come on up and catch you. Todd Bowley said there are things that has happened that he is very excited about. He said he is proud of Enzo Maresca as a manager and the things that Maresca has put out. And according to him, Enzo Maresca is very skilled in his work. And he went on to say, he said, how Enzo Maresca was able to do the game plan and the execution for the players was top notch for them. I say was top notch, and they didn't expect that they would get to this point. He mentioned sporting directors, Lawrence, Stewart, Mona, Wayne Stanley, and how good these guys have been. In terms of the quality of play that Chelsea played against Paris Saint-Germain, because according to him, nobody gave Chelsea a real chance, and he believes that from now Chelsea will take off. Now, right after this Club World Cup, you see, just before players in every hotel on a holiday, what happened was that Chelsea for no catch a players and say, I'm best send the Obia alert of £350,000 for each Chelsea player. £350,000 for each Chelsea player. I repeat, £350,000 for each Chelsea player. No need bonus for the Club World Cup. Obia be receive the alert I want a bank. And that is it. And Charlie, this is an excellent way, very, very smart way of getting the players to play. Because what this means is that as the players go forward, they want to play more and then get some more bonuses. They would want to do more. Champions League, Premier League, all of these clubs on the try, they will play for the badge. But really, it's about playing for the moolah. That's exactly what the players are going to do. And it looks as if Todd Bowley have had exactly how they were going to get Chelsea to get the results that they wanted. They had exactly how they were going to get the boys to deliver and get the results that they want to get, because £350,000 there, Jack. £350. Hey, Talik, I said, $350. Enzo Fernandez, $350. Darius Sugo, Busquets, $350. Hey, Darius Sugo. Hey, Charlie. Joao Pedro, $350. Andre Santos, $350. Everybody, £350,000 in everybody's pocket. These players are going to pocket it, they are going to take it and then go on holiday to enjoy themselves. And that's something that Chelsea Forum have always wanted. Say things are going to go on well for them. Now, the best news that even Chelsea are having is when we started this season, for a whole season, Chelsea have played the seasons and the games with no front sponsor. It was only for a short time that Chelsea Forum used to compete there from Denmark or Chelsea Forum used the Football Conference League, the last set of matches also or English Premier League. Now they use them because Denmark Forum proposed set certain Chelsea, Chelsea hotels and apartments in Dubai where Chelsea Forum rent it out, and you're a Chelsea player, you can go there and go and stay. Where Chelsea fan could Dubai with your card, you can go and sleep there. So Chelsea Forum thought, okay, business wise, it makes sense. So basically, sign money, just 1 month of publicity there. Then why not go and build for us, and then we'll go and do the job for you. And at Chelsea Forum, Denmark Forum for you throughout the season. Chelsea having had a sponsor. So throughout the season, I used to explain, say, There had been clubs who were telling Chelsea somewhere between 30 to 35 million. And then Chelsea phone catch up say, oh, almost pay 60 to 65 million. Now the truth of the matter is that 30, 35, a conference league scar, a club are on board in the Champions League. Club are only some mileage, when they play in the Champions League. In tennis stadia, you be more 30, 35 million. And I Chelsea phone to Debbie, and you be being tea, and you will be a one. Yeah, not a normal team, you bet me a do our level way. Into you be being tea, you want to say, it's Muma is Capapa. Oh, Chief. Champions League, they ain't mean Sesko Champions League for Sikama. I mean, how are we going to pay that money when you are not on that level? So we can't pay for you. And other people also came. I think Riyadh Air Money they had to buy with 40 million to 45. Chelsea said that Omonje. So Chelsea finally decided that they were not going to go in with any front shirt sponsors for the whole season, and that's what they did. Now, what we are hearing is that you see, this is probably the reason why most other Premier League clubs they don't like Chelsea, because after all of these things. Chelsea are qualified for Champions League, we're winning Conference League, and was also a Club World Cup, essentially the best club in the world. Marketing wise, and yes, there are 10 multinational companies, and I got Chelsea for catch on the jack. You see, 100 million euros, 100 million pounds, 100 million pounds as front shirt sponsor, and 10, according to the marketing team, any Chelsea for accounts, they will sit down. They will do the analysis because contract no sign maybe about 40, 50 years. And I don't know, Chelsea phone with the business operation managers or that is where Chelsea phone will do that analysis with, and then they'll do that. Of course, sporting directors, phone technical team players, they've brought you success on the field of play. Now you have to use that to get the money from that. And 10 multinational companies are some of them are likely to pay somewhere around 100 million. Now, last year, without sponsorship deal seeker, Chelsea had 88.5 million in terms of revenue on Chelsea, and that Paris Saint-Germain somewhere in the excess of 120 million. Chelsea Foligiri so at this point in time they can make 100 million for just front shirts. Now I don't know or there's going to be sleeve, there's going to be training gear, there's going to be a whole lot of things that Chelsea phone account just because they have been able to win a Club World Cup. It's a very, very exciting times, and football in Canada. Ombesani Eura market, Ombesani Eura market, Omitima Coupe players be something that I think is going to be very, very interesting from the point of view of Chelsea phone. If be able to get the 100 million from the sponsorship deal, that will be good because the current sponsorship deal I think is the biggest in the English Premier League. Is even still with I think Man City or so, somewhere around 60 million. Manchester United have somewhere around 50 million. And I think that I understand why Chelsea phone are pushing for more because so Man United already 50 they are on no class one more Champions League. So now go for 150. I think say Chelsea on no bread. Now own all of this amount of money no discussion. So what we are hearing is that Chelsea phone have more. And then there have been some big news in transfers with respect to Chelsea, especially in the last 1 hour. Of course, apparently, just when the team left the US of A, now players no come holidays no. The two sporting directors, Wayne Stanley and Abentia friend Stewart, all of them, say Jack, they can't go for holidays. Oma Gang said they need to work around the clock to build the strong brand and a bigger team, a better team for Chelsea. Omo analysis throughout the season. Mark Kukureya. Apart from games are no card. Apart from games are not or suspended. Every game be a Chelsea baby a Mark Kukureya boy. The only match I want a conference league matches any game and they are suspended then. And sporting directors they say it is high time that you find a backup and then a backup for Mark Kukureya. Now there is this player who I've spoken about. He plays for Ajax Amsterdam or a Dutch. Your friend is Jorel Hatu, and Chelsea Forum have made fresh contact with our bench friend Jorel Hatu. Now the good thing with Jorel Hatu is that or you play or you're very good in terms of the versatility. What's me about left centre back, obetima at left back, obetima as an inverted fullback. Oh, things you want to say a Marco Crayon or a very aggressive para. Honestly, and we are hearing that Chelsea are likely to bring in more players. Now, sporting directors, Nico PMO, Ajax Amsterdam, call the Johan Cruyff Arena, Ajax Amsterdam for penny for. They asked them one question, say, how much will it cost for us to do a deal for the young man called Jorel Hatu? And I asked Amsterdam for the catcher and he said, Jack, boy, the price on and that form, sir, Sika Benjamin a 60 million pay. 60 million and a accent price for Brentford furniture. Definitely Chelsea can beat the price down. The sad thing is that, the sad thing and the good thing is that Brentford furniture had to only release clause. Yeah. Until na say uno negotiate yeah, which means Brentford at a cool price. And I don't know the captain of Amsterdam last season, and Chelsea are very very keen in bringing a brand to our friend Jao to stand for bridge for him to come and add to the quality of football no more. Or we are very much interested in Jao Hato. They want to make sure that they get Jao Hato as part of their team. They want to make sure that Jao Hato becomes one of the top players who is going to join Chelsea Football Club, who is going to help them do their job now on Jao Hato follow. How to the mountain are coming in to make sure that everything goes on well for themselves. And I think it's going to be very interesting. But of course, before that, Chelsea has to do almost sales, and it's a FC Bayern Munich have asked again on a branch friend Renato Vega. They want to add Renato Vega to almost score in next season. Chelsea want to say a one and that from 35 million pay. Who is kind of one before branch friend Renato Vega. It's the same for Joao Felix, and also somewhere in the region of 35 million. What we are hearing is that an apparently being commercial about a brand friend Morgan Rogers, an excellent ball carrier, deep player carrying from the deep area and then bringing the ball forward. What we've heard, and it said, share the conversation around a brand your friend Morgan Rogers. Aston Villa for coach your friend Unai Emery had coach Nicholas Jackson our Villarreal before. Now Unai Emery has said sɛ ɛnya de obi nya abɛnti ɛfrɛ no Marcus Rashford there ɛne ɔmo nkankyɛ Chelsea so ɔmo pɛ a swap deal between Nicholas Jackson and abɛnti ɛfrɛ no Marcus ɛne abɛnti ɛfrɛ no Morgan Rogers ɛwɔ hɔ nom na ɛno ɛna aba bɛyɛ twema mentwe kakra Chelsea for no will do the assessment and see if they can bring in abɛnti ɛfrɛ no Morgan Rogers to ɔmo club but Chelsea really are interested in abɛnti ɛfrɛ no Morgan Rogers. Still Christopher Nkunku, Bayern for are very much interested in a branch of friend Christopher Nkunku. They are very much interested when it comes to say being a branch of game especially since a replacement for a branch of friend Thomas Muller after he left the club at FC Bayern Munich. They are really interested in him. They want to try and see if they can do a deal for a branch of friend Christopher Nkunku, who is excellent on all forms of play, excellent in all phases of play. House space, high press, the aggression and stuff like that, and the finishing are one of the best. And mind you, Christopher Nkunku had, a very good time at German Bundesliga for RB Leipzig, and they're expecting that maybe Christopher Nkunku can replicate that form now in our RB Leipzig or something that we're expecting to see if it's going to happen over there. Of course, Liverpool for is still Darwin Nunez. Napoli for are interested in him. Napoli are grinding aggressively. They want to get Darwin Nunez from Liverpool. But then, of course, for 1 month, Master Somudin Common and share them progressing. What has happened is that as it stands now, Napoli Forum are turning their attention to another striker, Lorenzo Luca, to Napoli, a player according to them, Antonio Conte, Penasempa. That is the possibility of what's going to happen for them to get Lorenzo Luca. But still, they are in for Brentford for the Darwin Nunez, who also have a lot of offers from the Saudi Pro League. Saudi Pro League for they have good offers for Darwin Nunez for him to come in, for him to be part of their squad. Or they are really interested to see if they are going to get a Brentford for the Darwin Nunez back into their team. A very interesting set of news on because Darwin Nunez there, he'd want to go elsewhere and go and play Liverpool. And Slot doesn't really fancy a Brentford, your friend Darwin Nunez. Of course, we'll see if Darwin will be able to leave football club the Liverpool and also baby of course Rodrigo goes and sends until the season starts proper. I think it's going to go on every time. Conversation will be up every time. Conversation will come on because still Madrid Forum are getting a lot of offers from a lot of people, and the latest one have been by mentioned for Charlie Omunya Benti friend Rodrigo goes. They'll probably like him. They'll really like a friend Rodrigo goes into Liverpool for no BB in term. No one Rodrigo goes in moment because they would like to go in for that branch friend Rodrigo goes. We'll see if Liverpool sell Rodrigo go. I mean, Madrid will sell Rodrigo goes to Liverpool, or maybe to Bayern, or to Arsenal, or maybe even to Barcelona. We'll draw the curtain here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I mean, and final edition for the day. I mean, I'm watching. We'll be back with some more analysis. Until then, you take care. Bye bye.